All right, hello, good evening. I'll be glad when my voice comes all the way back. It's very scruffy. I am uploading the parts of the original video. The proof will be up. It should be up. I'd say give it maybe, because it ended up being a 41-minute video, which is proof of the infamous infant straddling photo as being a fake. Okay. So that should be up. I'd say give it maybe an hour. Like I said, it was almost a 6 hour live. Okay. It was almost 6 hours. And I would link the original video, but honestly, it's embarrassing only because I was at a point in my life, where I was being attacked, and pretty much essentially people were trying to run me off of YouTube, run me away. And I wasn't necessarily all the way myself, which, you know, I wish that other people could admit to that anyway. So it'll be up very soon. But I wanted to talk about, because what I could recognize in that video is that I was absolutely and definitely being psychically attacked. And then not only that, during the live, I obviously was feeling some type of way because I am an empath, and there was currently a live show being done about me. This was several years ago, so I was a newbie, and learning how to protect yourself against psychic attacks should probably be the first thing that you should learn. And I think that it's important for newbie witches to get support and not attacks and gang stalking, you know, just because they come to this website to talk about their spirituality. But unfortunately, this happens in and out of the witchy community because people will try to bully you. There was a lot of craziness going on, and I know for a fact that there was magic being done. Now, I've got very good spirits that would never allow nothing too crazy to happen, but you could just tell in that video that I am definitely under attack. So, I want to talk about psychic attacks and psychic powers. Psychic powers can be so serious and powerful that they can almost put people under hypnosis and mind control. I think it depends on how aware you are. And people with psychic powers can do a lot. A lot of people don't really take psychic attacks seriously. Um, the phenomenon has made people be judgmental, and mainly the people that are being judgmental to you are usually the ones that are attacking you. They throw their hands and then they hide. I, on the other hand, I will be very transparent about things. I'm like that. I'm not a sneaky or a conniving person. at all. So, psychic attacks can cause you to feel muscle spasms, sick, nausea, headaches, aches, pains, dizziness, um, and anxiety and depression. And I mean, it's important to learn. It really is. It's important to learn, honestly. But I think also when people are not keeping it real, and that's the one thing that I cannot freaking stand about fake people that are, doing these psychic attacks, and they always want to say that the person is crazy. And you're not crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, if a person has nothing nice to say about you and they are attacking you in every way that they can, please believe that they're also trying to, or either successfully psychically attacking you. I figured out that what helps me with psychic attacks is my skulls. So I actually do have better protection from psychic attacks now. I had started using other techniques later on, back in 2016. When you're first starting out, you don't know much. You know what? I think it's important for people that are new to the craft for them to get support and actual real information that can help them. Not gossiping and getting caught up in dramas. It's very, very hard to find that on YouTube. And, a lot of these other witches that I've ran into on YouTube hated me from the beginning, didn't really give me any guidance as to what I needed to do. And it was a rough time. It really was. I don't think it's anything wrong with us witches helping other witches, but they don't want to help you. What they want to do is they want to take advantage of you. They want to try to do harm to you. It's very strange. Um, Whenever negative energy is being directed towards you, especially by a large number of people, it can make you feel extremely nervous. Hey, Jen. Yeah, yeah, I agree, Priscilla. I didn't really learn how to ground myself until probably like maybe 2017. It was really difficult. It was really rough not having anybody to go to trust. Hey, Shamika, good evening. And and then also there's glamour, workings that people can do. You can tell in that video that me and my son are both under attack by grown people. How do you justify psychically attacking a small child? I would have never even thought to do something like that. But it does happen. It does. And so protecting yourself I'm gonna tell you straight up and down what has helped me with psychic attacks is my skulls that I have consecrated, and they help. But I think also it's awareness of what's happening. People do witchcraft all the time, and it's always hidden under the guise of mental issues or either medical problems. And a person that is a psychic can sometimes give a person a splitting headache or make them feel that their eyes are burning. It's really such a shame that people, they like to try to do harm to people with witchcraft and with their psychic powers. And I think it's because it's so heavily demonized in the Holy Bible that they're going to make it evil. They're going to make it what they want. Yeah. But there's good news. I would say that the best psychic attack protection, one of the best herbs would be galangal root or galangal or however you pronounce it. Um, Slippery elm bark, salt, of course. Of course, sage. Breathing techniques so that you can relax, so that you're not taking in too much carbon dioxide, I think it is. Frequencies definitely do help. Crystals definitely do help, but you have to tell the crystal what to do for you, okay? I used to use crystals to protect against psychic attacks, and do I feel that clear quartz crystals help with that? Probably not the best thing because it could possibly amplify that energy. So I would say get some black obsidian or black tourmaline if you're going to use crystals and stones. Another thing that I had started doing, because I used to get psychically attacked really, really bad, really bad. Like it was so horrible. And what I would do is I would draw a black dot on my forehead, and that actually helps. Wearing something over the head. Sorry, guys, it is raining cats and dogs out there. Yeah, they do. And then, especially, I think that what's frowned upon also is misleading, especially younger witches that are looking to get into the craft or either placing them under possession. I remember being, yeah, I remember being attacked like that. And I feel like I was very lucky. You know, there was a few times that I felt like I needed to go to the hospital because I was so man. One time I had this one experience. It was awful. It was anxiety. It manifested as anxiety. And thank God I haven't had that since then. It was terrible. It was something that me and my family will never forget. Um, of course, when you smoke marijuana can sometimes make you more susceptible. It depends on what strain you're smoking. I know that CBD oil really helps people that are being psychically attacked because it helps them relax. Valerian root, lobelia, passion flower. There's another one. There's another one that's really good for psychic attacks. I can't think of it. Oh, mugwort. Mugwort and Malayan leaf are two other herbs that you can just burn them. And when you burn a when you burn herbs, even though they're dried, it still releases the energy of that herb into the air. I know that I like to do my boils on the stove, like just onion, garlic. I'll throw some herbs in it, and yeah, I've gotten so you start to build up a wall, and then also I've done a lot of unbindings. And I got to tell you the truth. I got to tell y'all 100% the truth. That goofer dust is the truth. Because in order for somebody to psychically attack you, they they would have to have access to your head, right? And goofer dust kicks them out of your spirit. But I do believe that there are certain other things that you can do, like unbinding yourself from that person, because people will sort of bind themselves to you. I thought that people only did that in love relationships. I didn't know that we were doing that to random people, but that's definitely happening. You know, um, oh, a deity that's really good for anxiety attacks is Santa Muerta. She is phenomenal in shutting stuff down, like shut it down, stop it. She'll bring so much peace to you. Um, and I think that I'm with Jen, that people that abuse their psychic powers, because listen, you don't have to be a witch to be a psychic, and you don't have to be a psychic to be a witch. Psychic powers is a whole other situation. Psychic attacks go under the radar a lot, okay? Because you can have anybody of any faith or religion, they could go to church every Sunday, but they still have psychic powers and they can attack you. So, a lot of you guys are dealing with psychic attacks. A lot of you guys are dealing with powers of suggestion. A lot of people are dealing with hypnosis, you know, and there are hypnosis spells. So this means that it may have like a extra effect. I've never, okay, let me quit lying. I believe that I was under hypnosis probably from like 2015 to 2018. And so you have to watch out for stuff like that, because it was meant to turn me into a puppet, essentially. Luckily, I wasn't like too far, under or whatever that energy, but it really can mess you up. Okay. So a person may not be doing spell work, but they can, it's meditation and visualization. Now, I will tell you that I have recognized people using psychic powers. If anybody is directing any of their psychic powers towards me, they will get a skull done on them. Okay. Because I feel like I just don't want you to be able to use your psychic gifts on me. Not telepathy, not to where you can remote view me. And all of that stuff is very, very real. It is. And because it can't be explained away, especially when you are factually a calm and rational person. But you're being sort of tapped into. Okay. And I wish that there was a better support system for witches, but unfortunately, it's not. We're almost like their punching bags. We're like their spiritual and emotional punching bags, essentially. Is what I get from it. They feel like they don't have to treat you with kindness or compassion because you are a witch, and they feel like you're just wicked anyway, and you're a bad person because you practice witchcraft. And some of the other symptoms of being psychically attacked is your stomach just gets all drawled up in knots, having difficulty breathing, which is more so on the side of anxiety. I don't know. I guess people do that because they want to keep in control. They want all of the clients. They want all of the clients. They don't want to share. They don't. And they can't even handle all of those clients at once. It doesn't even make any sense. I wonder how many people become lost in the shuffle, you know? And somebody that is a psychic may not necessarily be somebody that can make a spell work, at least not long term. So, like I said, being a psychic and being a witch, two different things. Okay. If you are, I feel like it depends on where you're at. If you were born to do necromancy, then you're going to be able to communicate and command spirits. Okay. And you have to get serious about it. I don't really think that a lot of these people out here are very serious about it. They take it as a joke. They want you to take it as a joke. I don't know why, but it is something that is serious. You know why? Because it's your calling in life. It's your calling. If it's your calling, it's just your calling. I can definitely promise a lot of you guys with 100% certainty that the things that I went through, the struggles, the problems, I definitely have learned enough throughout the years to prevent those things from happening to you. Okay? Because I've learned, and I've had to learn the hard way because nobody had ever taught me. Maybe it's because nobody actually knew. You'd be surprised at the people with the psychic abilities and what they can do with them. Okay. And if you want to look it up, you can look up, you can Google it, you can do research on it. Okay. Some people have very advanced psychic powers and abilities. You know, I don't know why those people wouldn't use those psychic abilities to do something good for themselves instead of trying to do harm to other people. But that's a whole other story that we can't get into, because Only thing that you should focus on is how to deal with it, how to deal with it. Now, I keep my house very protected. Is another thing is house protection. I've got a crystal grid throughout my house. Okay, so I've got crystals in various points of my house to protect from that stuff coming in because it is very, very real. I mean, I have even caught my psychic abilities are becoming so much stronger to where I've even caught people having I can hear the conversations that they're having, and it's not like you're hearing voices. You can just sense what they're saying and you can sense what's happening in that moment. Okay. And they know that they're doing it. Usually the ones that are accusing you of being crazy are the ones that's doing it. And they play dumb. Okay. They play dumb. They act like, oh, what are you talking about? I'm not doing anything. And so it's no need in confronting the person because they're never going to tell you the truth about what they're doing. Do what you got to do and you'll feel the difference. Now, if you grew up in a home where it was not witchy friendly, okay, this is a home where it's kind of just open to any and everything, then you'll find that you'll have years and years and years of this negative energy just on you. And that's why I don't know why my voice sounds like I did years ago. The first 3 years that I moved to Georgia, I did a cleanse every month. Every new moon, I had a schedule where I did a cleanse for myself. Um, because there was so much stuff that I had to clear away just from my entire lifetime of not actually being protected. Okay. I wasn't being protected. But I remember strange occurrences happening when I was a kid. You know, kids have wild imaginations. When I was a kid, I had a wild imagination. Um, and so it's you don't want to you can't necessarily be protected from all of the bad stuff, but then it turns into, okay, how is this going to affect me? Am I going to let this affect me in a negative way? And yeah, of course, if people would just shut up, you know, quit talking about you all day, every single day, wishing bad upon you, and your spirit can sense it. But, you know, good luck with that one. Good luck with that one. That's the one thing I can tell you is that those shut the fuck up spells, what they do is they definitely do, they work, but they work to where they make a person's words not mean anything. Because there is a such thing as psychic influence. For example, if I was being lazy and I felt like I didn't feel like saging my entire house, I can sit right here in this spot and start doing my incantations, okay, that I use for clearing. And I can clear out my entire house just from one room. So that's an example of projecting your psychic abilities out, and a lot of people are needing to sage constantly. They're needing to smudge their houses. constantly give yourself a break and just try to think and figure out an easier way of doing it, because it is an easier way of doing it, especially if you're having to do it every single day. I would say that maybe you need better home protection or something. Though, if you feel like you need to sage every day your entire house, I mean, it definitely, like, if I had to sage every day, I think I would probably have to give me like a really, really, really small, tiny home. That way I just walk from room, this corner to that corner. Okay, I'm done. But I've come a long way from where I was. And I can just see the black magic. Looking at myself several years ago, I can just see the dark magic that was being put on me, and how I was fighting it with all of my heart. I was fighting it because as a mom, I don't want anything to hurt my kids. I don't want them to suffer because of the decisions that I made at all. So basically, what happens is that anything that's being thrown at my kids comes to me, and it's going to stay that way. Okay. So anything, that's my will. So it's tiresome. It really is. It gets very tiresome. And then also to not be believed, to not be listened to have people in denial about it is very hurtful, because you don't get the spiritual support that you need when everybody is telling you that you're just a crazy person. Okay. And if you say, hey, I'm authentic, then they're like, oh, you really believe in that stuff? Oh, wow, you're crazy, because you have to be fake. They want you to be fake and not actually believe in it. I believe in it. A lot of you guys believe in it. And I found so many different things that have helped me tremendously. Because I am extremely sensitive. I can hear people talking about me from hundreds of miles away. And it's not that you're not hearing their voices. It's more of a sensory type of thing. You know what I'm saying? It's more of a sixth sense that you get. I don't know. I try not to have negative thoughts about people, is what I do, because sometimes those negative thoughts can turn into reality. So I literally try not to think about people in a negative way, you know? Yeah. Yeah, like I can sense it. And so because I've actually called people, like, not anybody on YouTube, but I've actually called people and said, hey, could you please think of nicer things to say about me? Like, because you seem to not have any hope for me or my future. And I don't know where that's coming from, but I'm going to be all right. And they're like, what are you talking about? And it's like, yeah, I know that you're still having table talk, round talk discussions to where you're saying the most negative thing. That's why you got to look out for people like family and stuff, because they always have something negative to say. You should say positive things about people. You should say, well, I think that Jamila's going to be okay. You know what I'm saying? She's a strong woman. No, oh, this is going to happen and that is going to happen and this is going to happen. And those are spoken curses. Those are curses that people are speaking out of their mouth, and people should not do that. You know, they shouldn't, especially if they have some kind of psychic ability. Basically, what's happening is that we have a whole bunch of people in this world that do have these psychic abilities. They call it the gift of gab, and they're saying these things, and these things are manifesting in people's lives. You know, hold on, guys. That's why I'm very, very careful. I actually have somewhat of a nervous condition, actually, and I've had a nervous condition for a while now. And because I think it just started to weigh on me, and it kind of, it just that it's just kind of like, leave me alone, stop, please stop trying to change my decisions, please stop trying to control me. I cannot wait until I get out in nature to where I just, yeah, and I need that water. My spirits know that that's what I need, because if I live by water, it's just a small lake. I don't want to live by the ocean. I think the ocean would be way too overwhelming to me every day. Like, no. But, I think I'd probably get used to it. But it just seems like, whoa, like that. But like a lake, and just that water and just being near it would definitely be something that would be very therapeutic. You know? Yeah, protect yourselves. And especially, we have a new moon coming up. I hate it when people have a lot of negative thoughts too. And my abilities are so good that I can even hear people's thoughts. I can sense people's thoughts, what they're thinking. And I'm sorry, but your vision of what's going to happen to me and my loved ones is very, very different from mine. you know, I'm sorry, one EQL. I just got your text message. I'm sorry, hon. So, yeah, and I believe that most people in this world are being puppeteered, and not for good either. They're not being puppeteered for good reasons. They're being puppeteered because they are being pulled away from like their true destiny or their true self, their true empowerment. They don't want you to be empowered. They don't, because then they would fear you. Isn't it funny how I don't have those fears? I don't have fears like that. That's just like a teacher not teaching a child how to add and subtract because they're fearing that child taking their job. I guess that's I don't know, that's not a very good analogy, but I don't want to say that I fear the world, but I'm like very on guard, when it comes to stuff like that, because I can sense it. If somebody has psychic abilities, if somebody has psychic power, I can sense it. I really can. And, it's almost like I can see. So when it comes to being an empath, what you see is what you may feel. So if you're seeing all this negative stuff, then you may feel negative stuff. It's kind of like a head and a heart thing. And I don't know why they have to make witchcraft so negative. I don't know who's doing this. I don't believe it's God, though. I don't. God is a woman. Okay. Definitely female energy. Okay. And not the corrupt female energy that, like, we've been seeing manifest. And I hate it. I hate myself when I have to go into my dark place, you know. I can come on here and there, cuss somebody out, da 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 da. I don't like that. I really don't. In fact, I'm extremely tired and bored with it. I'm very bored with that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather be doing my spell work and doing work. It interests me more. Sitting around arguing with somebody about anything is really not something that I'm interested in. I am tired. I am. I'm tired. I just need a break. I need a break from all of it, you know? And not a break from witchcraft, but just a break. And I am taking a mental break. I am like, when I realized, it was years ago when I realized how to protect myself from psychic attacks. Um, and just, these suggestive thoughts, you know what I'm saying? And not sexual, but just that negative, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I think that an idle mind is the devil's workshop when somebody's able to just sit and meditate. Now, see, when I meditate, I'm visualizing my brain healing, my life healing. I'm visualizing good things, but there's some people that will use those powers for dark. And that's why I got these chicken heads over here. Not chicken heads, but, I did like my clay, or they clay, I forget, it's called foam clay is what I used. And it really, really, really does the trick, you know, and people lie. Um, can't nobody come to me or get to me except for my spirits and who I want. Nobody has the right to invade your mind, your body, and your spirit. And as long as you continue to know that and you're doing something about it, because honestly, when you're doing, when you're practicing the craft, it doesn't have to be an obsessive thing where it's just all day. Oh, I gotta light this up. I gotta light that up. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. It's not supposed to be that way. I guess it's a side effect of the awakening. You got people that became awakened, their gifts came into, for their gifts began to emerge, but those people made a decision to use those gifts for evil. At this point, I can tell you that from what spirit has told me is that a lot of these people are going to lose their psychic abilities, um, to be used for that. If somebody is psychically attacking you, you have every right to do what you have to do. And I've learned that. I have. And a lot of people will say, oh, that's evil. No. Okay, yeah. I guess let's put the label of evil on it. You want to enjoy life. You don't want to deal with people's crud. And you don't have to. You know what I'm saying? I get paid for that. I get paid to deal with people's spiritual problems. But like, as far as like my students and stuff, I can teach people how to psychic attack somebody, how to psychically attack somebody all day. Should you do it? No. Get a life, you know? As the saying goes, the mind is a sponge. It even looks like a sponge. And people want you to be their sponge, especially if you have an open mind. It's the same thing as an agent. Okay, let's say that you wake up from the Matrix. Same thing, same difference. There is the, oh my God, what was his name in that movie? I want to say Orpheus, Morpheus. There's the Morpheuses, and then there's the agents. So I think his name was Morpheus. So Morpheus awakened him from the Matrix, and of course the agents were trying to take him back into that false world that was created for you based upon other people's expectations from when you were a child. People don't really understand children. Children are not supposed to act and behave like adults. They're supposed to act like children. You can't say, oh, that kid is going to be so and so when they get older. It's like, God, that's cursing somebody. Can you say something nice? No, people are in a habit of doing that. Oh, that kid is going to be messed up when they get older. Look at how they running around. It's a kid. The child is supposed to run around and play. Anyway, I don't get it. I understand human beings and human development on a very deep level, and there are some people that just it's like they don't get it. You know what I'm saying? They just really don't get it. And I think it's important to recognize your witchy kids, they have gifts too, and to protect them. you know no, I can't save the world. All I can do is try to educate as many people as possible about what I know about the human brain, about like what it is capable of doing and what people are capable of doing to your mind. you know yeah, I would never go back to the old way of living, though. They want to discourage you. That's why they do the stuff that they do, because they have complexes. Oh, I want to be special. I want to be the only one. Hey, why don't you be special over there in your lane and I'll be special over here in my lane? How about that? Can they do it? So most normal people can. So, anyway, I'm so happy that I found that video, and I might discuss a little bit more of it later. Um, I just cannot believe people do some of the stuff that they do. That is so sad. It's very, very sad. The nightmares that people are able to create for you and without any good reason. There's a lot of bad people in this world. It's a lot of bad people. Bad people that will try to hurt you just because they're angry. And, they just don't care. So, lighten up my jars. I haven't lit them up all day. We had some really, really good rain. It's still kind of raining a little bit. Yeah, I definitely have sensed and picked up on people. They try to find a gateway into your mind. Ever since I've done those black skulls and that goofer work, because like I said, I kicked a bunch of people out, that people will invade your mind. Think of your mind as a house, basically. They will try to get in your house and squat. Psychics will do that because they want to control outcomes. Yeah. And so they're constantly doing it. So get ready for this new moon because they're still crazy, in my opinion. There is no way that well, I do have spiritual gifts. I wouldn't waste them on something like that. Constantly attacking somebody. I got better things to do with my mind, okay? Yeah. Nobody's worth that to me. Okay. So yeah, but I made these skulls right here. This is what these are for. And my lights had went out. They had flickered earlier. Let me turn my light thingy back on. So I had made these and they work. They really do. I think that it takes time to get adjusted, but these definitely work. Okay. You put a little face on them. They work. They do. The petitions is on the inside of these. So, and these have dried out. So this particular foam clay does dry, because like I said, they're not always using witchcraft. They are using psychic attacks. And some people literally have all day, or they may pick certain days. They may pick certain moons. Um, yeah. And so this one is in the jar right here. This one is in this jar. But I'm going to put these in, like a big mason jar because I said, my goodness, I said, there are some people like, hell, I ain't got time to sit around all day and try to psychically attack somebody. I don't have time to sit around and think about nobody all day unless it's somebody that I'm in love with. If I fall in love with somebody, I'm gonna sit and think about them all day. They're always gonna be in on my mind. They're always gonna be in the back of my mind because that's what you do when you love somebody. You don't sit and pine over somebody that you don't love all day. Like that just doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, so yeah, rosemary is really good too because rosemary helps to restore the mind. Rosemary is really good for the mind, along with mugwort and Malayan leaf. So if you keep those basic herbs in your house, just keeping them in the house helps. You can use them in your protection jars. Casadilla really helps a lot. Yeah, casadilla powder really helps a lot. But and I'm so sorry to anybody that is having a negative spiritual experience. But you don't have to suffer. Okay, you don't have to suffer with that person because I think hurt people want to hurt people and they have an agenda. I don't know about y'all, but my agenda is buying my first house and living life and getting married and enjoying, playing under the sun with my kids or with my animals. Life should be enjoyable. It shouldn't be all that misery and contempt and hatred. It's ridiculous. Okay. And protect yourself because they want to get in your subconscious. So, like, the subconscious rules a lot, don't it? It does. It rules a lot. And I do like the frequencies. The ones in particular that I really love are the ones that clear out negative subconscious blockages, because everything that you take into your mind goes into the subconscious, whether or not you realize it or not. Your brain is processing it, and that's not law of attraction. That has nothing to do with law of attraction. It's just the way the mind works. Okay, as far as with words and suggestions, and I think retrograde ended like maybe a day or so ago. I know I got a lot of positive out of it. I did. I got a lot of positive out of it. And I'm just thinking positively. But I got to get in the habit of, like, for example, I'm getting ready to listen to one of them frequencies to clear out negative subconscious blockages now, because, one thing that I wish that, why there's a gender war? It's because men don't generally, for the most part, understand psychism and being a woman, and how a lot of women are naturals at it. I know I've always been. Okay. I would say if you're a psychic, you could be very successful in witchcraft, um, because sometimes you can. I guess I don't just read cards for people or do readings. I enjoy doing spiritual work and spells and rituals and stuff. So, and don't let nobody take that away from you. Don't let anybody take that away from you ever, because that's exactly what they want to do. You know, keep practicing your class, your craft. I said class, your craft, and just stick with it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, and then they'll try to get in your head through third parties. I don't know, if somebody allows themselves to be a catalyst for evil, whatever. You know, I can't even imagine. Just, I think that if I had a temporary time where I was going through something, maybe for like maybe a month or so tops, but to just attack, attack, attack for several years, I think people like that will eventually get their karma. What y'all think? I think they will. I most definitely believe in the power of karma. Yeah. And some people have to. Okay. The law of attraction, not so much, you know. But anyway, I'm going to go. I'm hungry, guys. I got to go. I hope y'all had a good Tuesday. Okay. Make sure that you guys get your cards and stuff and that like for example, if you get woke up during the witching hour, ask your spirit guides because sometimes spirit will wake you up and it'll be something that needs to be done. And the most powerful time to do that is during the witching hour. You're welcome, Shamika. Make sure y'all go over there and watch that video. Um, I remember back then though talking about, these people wanted me to make somebody or force somebody to do something. And I'm sorry, that's not, no, it's not the way witchcraft works. In fact, that's not even close. In fact, witchcraft is not just all about curses and all that stuff. It's not, but that's what people relate it to. So, anywho, I'm going to finish enjoying this rain. Y'all have a good night. I'm going to go and eat. All right. Blessings. Bye bye.